Let's have a tour, shall we? What's up everyone, Brian Lebo here with another home tour for you. Now this is a really interesting one. We are out in Sun City, Summerlin today. Normally I would never come out here. I flipped a home here last year. These aren't the type of homes that we normally feature, but this is one of the best remodels that we've seen. So I really wanted to kind of show off what they did because I love the details. I love what they chose. So without further ado, let's show it off. Now, in the front of the home here, we are in the formal living room, which I always call the worthless formal living space that no one uses. Now, there's a few things that I absolutely love. First is this flooring. Now, I am not a fan of tile floors that look like wood, the skeuomorphic look. That was popular 10 years ago and it's kind of phased out. But in this implementation, it looks fantastic. It's that popular French oak and it's 5 feet long by 1 foot wide. These huge planks really make it look like real wood and I love it. Now above us, they complemented it with a laminate flooring that basically mimics the flooring beneath us. So it really has a really nice composition to it. Now moving over in this direction, we have the worthless formal dining area. But again, it's a lovely space, very open, and we do have 12-foot high ceilings, which is very nice. We'll talk about this more, but this is something to discuss. But like we normally do, we go straight to the kitchen and we already burned some time there. So let's talk about this kitchen. Again, a lot of the craftsmanship you're gonna see in this home is really fantastic. Some things could be better. Now, what's neat is over in this direction, you can see that we have the modern shaker style cabinetry that's ubiquitous. It's in every single remodel. I've seen it a million times. What was kind of neat, and in these older homes, these aren't standard sizing. So what they did is they kept the original box from the original home, but they custom made and refaced these cabinets. You can't tell on film, but in person when you touch it, this is very different than these. And I'm not criticizing, this is actually a great job of custom cabinetry to match the prefab. Now, first off, we'll talk countertops. Now, I love what they did here with the waterfall return. We've seen it a million times, but this was a lovely selection. So this is a beautiful quartz counter surface. This was Ashley's favorite part. It looks sensational in person. The one thing I will say, which might show up, the fabrication, my guy would have been better. The fabrication could have been a little bit better because it is custom, so it's a mitered 45-degree edge. That could have been a little better. Now, over to this side. I absolutely love what they did. You never see this. They ran the upper cabinetry. It's illuminated inside the box as well as downward illumination. In person, this just comes across so rich, very lovely. Now we have the opposing countertops. So while this is quartz, these are actually porcelain countertops. In person, this looks sensational. It looks like marble, but it's really a printed porcelain. The one thing I will say from experience is I tried running this on an island and this is half the thickness of quartz. So if your fabricator isn't good, we lost an entire island because it cracked. Moving that forward, if you drop something, this is not the most resilient. So this is very likely to crack if you drop something hard on the surface. Not a fan. These are great for bathrooms, shower surrounds, but you have to be very careful if you're using this in a kitchen environment. Now, we got the glass inserts in the cabinetry. We do have a little bit of a mix and match when it comes to appliances. So we've seen this a million times. We have the Z-Line 48-inch drop-in stove. Everyone's using this for flips. Great bang for the buck, great appliance, and I mean, hey, it just creates heat. We have our 48-inch matching vent fan, but this is a weird one. This is iKitch, never heard of them, got me. Over here, what's one of my biggest peeves, you guys know, is homes that have been remodeled that don't have 2 dishwashers. Not here. This is only 2,500 square feet, so I'm not gonna be that picky. They have the dishwasher, but this is an LG. Then we slide over here and we have a Whirlpool refrigerator. So we've got like 4 different appliances going on. Tell me guys in your comments, do you even care about that? Sometimes, even in my house, is mix and match because there were certain appliances that I just liked more than others. But I know typically you're supposed to keep it with one manufacturer. But do you guys even care anymore, or is that old thinking? All right, now as we come down here, they extended the cabinetry, so we have the dove gray cabinets. We have modern hardware, uppers as well. And again, like we just discussed, we have the continuation of the porcelain countertop that comes all the way around, same cabinetry. This is a really nice breakfast nook. And as you probably saw in the drone footage, we are on the golf course. So we're elevated above everything. You can't hear anyone. No one can see into your property. And this is absolutely beautiful. The only people that can really see in are people across the fairway and maybe on the cart path, but this is a lovely space. Now, let's go to the big reveal. This is a wonderfully sensational 15-foot slider. It's a really unique system. Maybe we'll kind of show you that, but it's a really unique system. Very nice, and of course, this creates that perfect indoor-outdoor experience that we all love. Now, this is something that I want to talk about. Maybe before we talk about that, one thing I didn't mention is, hopefully you can see the beams. They put in these artificial beams in the ceiling and it actually looks fantastic. One interesting feature is they use shiplap on the ceiling, where over there in the formal space, we have the laminate wood, and over here we have shiplap, and it actually it's just a wonderful contrast. Whoever was the designer of this home did a fantastic job. Now, check this out. Okay, first what I like. I do like the implementation. This may not show up on film, but this is actually a 3D tile. I've actually used this exact tile before. It's very, very subtle, which is what I like. You can only see the reveal depending on angles because it's very, very modest. We have an 85-inch television. And the reason I tell you that is to kind of give you a sense of size and scale to this wall. It's a pretty fairly large wall, large television. Now we have a really large fireplace. I didn't measure, but this is closer to 100-inch. Here's where I'm gonna criticize. There's so much great materials used in this home, and they spent so much money on this wall, but I would have gone with the Dimplex XL Ignite. It's a frameless fireplace, and we see these electric all the time. I just think they could have done a nicer job popping this out using a frameless fireplace. That would have topped it off. Now, this is all encompassed with this custom built-in that looks sensational. What do you guys think? Do you like this look? Is it too busy? I think it looks amazing. But here's my problem. This is the middle of the wall, and I'm looking right into the kitchen. This personally would drive me absolutely crazy. The television is completely off-center to the right. So if you're sitting watching TV, you're kind of right next to the indoor-outdoor living, which is cool when it's open, not so much when it's closed. If you do have surround sound, it's gonna throw off everything. I'm a man of symmetry. There's no way I could ever deal with this. Again, I wanna hear your comments. Do you love this? Am I overthinking this? Am I a little bat? You guys tell me. All right. Coming back to this, so we have this kind of designer partition separating the family room from the formal living and dining space. I think it goes, it's fair to say that it would be a lot better if we could remove this wall. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say that this beam is a load-bearing beam, which is why they didn't, because it doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't. This is kind of an antiquated design style separating the two. But again, it's not terrible. I like that at least it's open, so you do have a sense of open space. Now that we've seen the major part of the house, let's pivot over and let's see one of the spare bedrooms before we get to this other wing of the house. So here we are back where we started at the front. One thing to mention, I love the doors. They replaced the doors. All the hardware in the house has been replaced, but I love the ambient light that comes in. Now, this technically counts as a bedroom. We do have French doors. Obviously, there's no privacy, but the new standards came out, and as long as there's a window, then it counts as a bedroom. We do have a window, and in fact, we have a closet. Of note that I'll discuss later, they did not cheap out. Normally, every house has hollow doors. These are solid core doors, even the closet doors. Everywhere in this house are solid core doors, much more expensive, much more luxurious. I'm really surprised that they spent that extra money on the doors. And again, so here we are, this is set up as a den right now. They did put in 4 recessed lights and the ceiling fan, so good job there. That's gonna come up here in a minute. Coming down this hallway, we do have just, a coat closet. And again, just like I told you, these are solid core doors. In person, when you feel them, it's not like what you're used to, especially at this kind of a level. Now, This is beautiful. So in here we have just a regular powder bathroom, but it's been cut down to accommodate the size, but we have beautiful concrete looking 24 by 48 inch tile. I personally love it. This is literally what I would use myself. Now we have the dove gray cabinetry, but here it's floating. So very, very nice. We have the same quartz counter surface that we had in the kitchen island. We have, what's kind of neat is we have an undermount sink, which is always done, but here they put in a more rectangular one just to give it a little bit more of a look. We have Calcutta real marble mosaic brick laid for the backsplash going all the way up to the ceiling, and then you'll see more, but I love what they did with the mirrors. They basically cut these mirrors and then use a Schluter surround for the surrounding area with tile. In person, really, really nice job, and a nice way of not purchasing like aftermarket mirrors and being able to use what was already there and just kind of cut it down to size. Now down this hallway, again, we transition from like the white French oak tile that looks like wood into this 24 by 48 inch tile that we love. Now, similar, we have a floating vanity, the dove gray. We have the quartz countertops that we just saw in the powder bathroom and in the kitchen. Upper cabinets, nice hardware. I even like that they have these open shelves, kind of a contemporary look. We have a window that leads to the front of the house. And even here, this is kind of odd. This is actually like a kitchen sink more than what you would find in a laundry room. A little bit quirky, but you know, gets the job done. And then this, of course, is the door to the garage. We're not gonna go in there. But one neat thing about the garage is the fact that this garage is really not a 2-car, it's kind of like a 2.5 car garage, because there's a huge area on the left side where you could park like a golf cart. A lot of the old folks around here like to travel by golf cart, so that's kind of neat. All right. One really cool feature that you don't see anymore, because this is an older home, we have a huge skylight above us. So really nice to have natural light. You can't tell because of the exposure on the camera, but this house is very, very bright. It just gives off a great feel. Now coming in here, we have a secondary bedroom. Now this, we have kind of a basic flip carpet scheme going on. We've got massive baseboards, but here's where they kind of skimped a little bit in weird ways. Like I mentioned, these closet doors, no one cares about. These are solid core expensive doors, but we didn't put in recessed lights. So we're missing 4 recessed lights, which would have cost about $480, and we spent a ton of money on the doors. So kind of an interesting decision. Now let's check out this bathroom. So this is an in-suite bathroom. We have the same floating vanity. We have the same quartz countertops. We got that rectangular sink, but now there's a few cool things. So I love what they did. Floor to ceiling, all porcelain tile, very elegant. And then these huge mirrors that are usually clipped onto the wall. They used that Schluter like I told you, and then framed it in. I think it looks sensational. Now we have to talk about this shower. Ashley was the one that noticed it before I did. You know I have my pet peeves, right? And I am definitely gonna pick a nit here. This probably applies mostly to men for a height situation, but guys, tell me if I'm crazy here, but one of my biggest pet peeves in the world, which normally happens when I travel, is this right here. You have this beautiful porcelain back. It's an accent for the shower, sensational job, recessed light, everything's great. But come on, man, come on. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? I'm taller, but I'm not that tall. I'm 6'1". Ashley stood in here, she's 5'6", and she barely could get her head under here. Come on, it wouldn't have cost that much to just redo the plumbing and bring it up. This is what I would have to do to wash my hair. I don't really have hair, but guys, you get the point. If there's one problem I have with this house, that is the worst damn shower head I've ever seen. I don't get that. All right, moving along. Now we have the primary suite. I'm getting better. Again, solid core doors, and they're French doors, so it gives you this large opening. So let's talk. We have the same beams that we had before, and we have the shiplap ceiling. Again, this is stunning, stunning, stunning. Now, one thing we will discuss is I kind of love what they did, but I want to hear your comments. What do you think? I really do love the idea of this wall, and it was implemented pretty well. My criticism is the fact that we still have the eggshell drywall texture. I think if you're gonna do this, you kind of either need to put some wallpaper behind it, shave the wall, make it a smooth surface. For some reason to me, it doesn't pop. I don't know if it's gonna show up on camera. Try to get you a close up. But in general, I love it. I think that's my one criticism, and I realize it would have cost a lot of money to change the drywall to be a smooth surface. Now in here, we have, again, basic carpet. We have a nice sized walk-in closet, tons of illumination, and these were existing custom closet. So this is all existing. It looks fine, we're good to go. Solid core door, all right. Now let's check out the primary bathroom, because this is lovely. Okay, we have the same concrete 24 by 48 inch flooring that I just told you I love. But now things change a little bit. Now we have the super popular Calcutta looking marble, but quartz counter surfaces. We have the floating dove gray vanities. And again, you know, recurring theme, we have the rectangular sinks that I love. Now, this entire bathroom, every single wall, all four, are all porcelain tile. And in person, this is something you would see more in like a $5 million home. We've been in $3 million homes that didn't have this level of quality. So behind me here, great job. We have a beautiful porcelain tile. Again, this looks like marble, but this is really porcelain. And this is what it's designed for. Not so much the counter surface that we saw in the kitchen, but this is what this porcelain tile is really at its best. And it looks sensational. So we have this accent wall. They even did the cutouts around the mirrors, around the windows perfectly. And then here we have the same porcelain tile that we saw earlier, lovely. And then of course it's all framed in, all of the mirrors. Now this shower is pretty cool though, man. So in the shower, I love what they did. So we have a nice shower pan here, seamless drain. I like that they built this shelf. Like this was a little bit more expensive to engineer. It makes sense for, you know, age-restricted housing. I love it. And then we have like dueling rainfall shower heads. So this is our normal shower head. And again, look at the difference. This is higher than I need it to be. And then of course above me, we have a legitimate rainfall shower head. But this is a wonderful shower. I love that they even brought the glass up. I think this is 96 inches. So this will retain more heat than your normal surround. So really great job there. I'm still pissed about that shower if you couldn't tell. And even over here in the bathtub area, I like the way they did the diverter valves on the wall, and you even have a wand. That's really neat. Over here, we have our second vanity, same as the opposing wall. And then in here, we just have our toilet lavatory. Okay, now we are almost done with the interior, but there's one last thing that I gotta complain about. Seems to be a recurring theme, but this house is amazing, but there's just a few things that just don't make sense to me. So this is lovely. When you walk in, this is the same laminate that was used in the front of the home and the ceiling, and I scrutinized it. It's actually fantastic. It blends in with the flooring perfectly, even though one is tile and one is laminate. I've seen this done horribly. Great job to the designers here in matching it. Now this is really neat. They went with a 12 by 24 inch, and this looks kind of like a limestone, even though this is really just a porcelain. But here's the problem. Lovely built-in for the television. We have the fireplace that's electric. That's not my favorite. And this implementation was wonderful. But the TV's here and the bed is, the TV's here and the bed, this makes no sense to me whatsoever. If I'm in bed and I wanna watch television, the TV should be here. I know it can't be here because that's the door to the closet, but here would be okay. Over here, this just doesn't make any sense. You would have to literally be looking like this to watch TV. Maybe if we had a sofa over here and this was supposed to be like a retreat, I could buy it a little bit more. But this is the one thing that just makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. And I'm a big audio video guy, and this just kills me. All right, now that I've completely picked this amazing home apart, we have finished with the inside. Let's finish up outside and see what we got going on in that part of the remodel. Oh, I didn't know I had guests. Welcome. All right, jokes aside, we are finally outside in the backyard. Now, again, we have that 15-foot slider that invites us outside. We have a lovely 24-inch square tile for this, just for this patio area with the outdoor kitchen, but stopping as we get to the pool. So over here, we have the outdoor kitchen. They put it, a moderate tile for the front. The top is kind of a basic countertop, looks nice, but they did put in a brand new, lovely KitchenAid grill. Very, very lovely, very elegant. Now, let's come out here. Around the pool, we just have concrete, so you will burn your feet in summertime pretty bad. But we have I think this is brand new. So a brand new, modern pool, very lovely. Up here we have our jacuzzi. I like the way they created this open area for the water to cascade down, but now, it wouldn't be a video without a criticism. What do you guys think? This right here makes just no damn sense. I'm just gonna say it. It makes no damn sense to me whatsoever. Everything out here is a gray motif, and I know that this tile that looks like wood is supposed to tie the indoor and outdoor together. If you were gonna do it, I think it should have been for the patio, so you can see it inside, outside. I get the correlation, this just doesn't work to me. I would have at least used the same tile as the patio over here. This just flat out does not work for me. You guys tell me what your thoughts are. Now we have a Baja deck here with a hole cut out for an umbrella so you can have a chase lounge, enjoy some shade. Of course, behind us, we have a lovely little lake on the golf course. We've got our fairway, beautiful views, very, very quiet out here. Now coming down this direction, we continue with the pool. Again, we have all the concrete around here, but now we have another lovely space. So over here, we have artificial turf. We have the same tile that we had in the patio, which I just said we should have used for that, tile flooring area in the jacuzzi. Now coming over this direction, again, we have the same tile, so it correlates perfectly. And then this jumps inside to the primary suite where we just were, ooh, it's nice and warm. And this is what I'm saying. Look at the tile here, and then we have this tile here. It doesn't bother me whatsoever, but if you're going to tie them together, I think this kind of would have made a little bit more sense for the indoor-outdoor. Now over here, we have a much larger area, so if the grandkids are in town, they have a little bit of room to play. If you have a fur baby, great. Fur baby has some space to do their business. They still have a fence. And then over here, we have a lovely fire pit and seating area. So a great backyard. And I mean, in this community, in this area, this is a wonderful backyard. Well, that pretty much wraps up this entire tour, guys. I'm dying to hear what your comments are. Lord knows I've said enough, so I'm dying to hear your comments. What was your favorite part of the house? Was it the kitchen? Was it the ceilings that were done with shiplap or the laminate? Was it that bathroom? There's so much that was wonderful in this house. I'm dying to hear your comments. So without further ado, thank you to the listing agent for allowing me to shoot this wonderful property. I got a lot of great videos coming up, so please click to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Deuces.